White Stork. This is BlueBrixx set 108697. It was released in August 2025 for about 19 euros. This construction block set consists of 352 pieces, which are compatible to bricks by other building blocks companies like Lego, Kobe, Mega, and so on. As you can see, this is a BlueBrixx Pro set, which means it comes here in a rather colorful box, which has some kind of design. And here, the box shows us images, or better said, computer-rendered images of the completed build from different angles. Here on the back side we can see some details, and we also get to know the dimensions of the completed build. 26.5 centimeters by 20 centimeters by 11 centimeters. And here, I guess the box also already tells us that there are some movable segments, so we can move the head and the wings. And we also get two plaques in English and in German. Sadly, BlueBrixx Pro also means that it comes with worse bricks than the BlueBrixx Special sets, because it's manufactured by Xingbao. The bricks work totally fine, but they have ugly injection holes. But it looks like there aren't any visible studs in the completed build, so we shouldn't see too many of those ugly injection holes. That's good news. Alright, then let's open the box. Inside the box we find another box, this brown open box, which contains our bricks in bags. So we get this bag here with the two printed tiles, and then there are all the other bricks. As you can see, the bags have numbers on them, but those numbers are of no meaning to us, because there are no building sections. When we have a look inside the instructions, you can see that there are no building sections to which the bricks are sorted to. Which means I'm going to open all the bags now and empty them on the table. There isn't really any need for pre-sorted pieces, because with a piece count of about 350, it isn't really necessary. We shouldn't have to search too long for an individual brick at each building step. Well, the instructions are printed, as you can see. That's because it's a BlueBrixx Pro set. The Pro sets always come with printed instructions. Sadly, there are no digital instructions for the set. Well, alright. I'm going to open the bags now, and then I will start with step 1. I'm really looking forward to build the set, since I actually like storks. I guess this video won't be successful, since most people aren't really interested in such builds. They prefer, I don't know, builds from some franchises, video game franchises, movie franchises, and so on. But I actually also enjoy building stuff like that. I do not have much knowledge about birds, but storks are one of my favorite animals. I guess that's because I grew up in an area where we find these guys just everywhere. And those are really majestic birds. Especially when they fly through your street in very low altitude. That's always very impressive. Well, okay. I will start with step 1, and I will come back to you as soon as I see something interesting or something simply doesn't work as shown in the instructions. Oh, I just found this bag which says, please use these new parts. So I guess we have to use these parts here instead of those parts which were in one of the other bags. I don't know what's wrong with these parts. They are probably in the wrong length. I don't know. But yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm simply obeying and using these parts here. Step 9. What piece is this here? It looks a bit like a Lego minifigure hand, but it isn't. You can see that it is shaped slightly differently. I don't know, maybe this simply is a hand of a non-Lego minifigure and they were not allowed to, I don't know, completely copy the shape. Maybe it's also protected as part of the protected minifigure. Or this isn't a minifigure hand at all. Maybe it's just some kind of clip with attached bar and I simply do not know or do not recognize this piece. I have no idea. Step 24. In this step we are definitely using pieces which, for example, the Lego company doesn't use. We are using plates with studs on both sides. So we got a 1x2 plate which comes with studs on both sides, and these 3 2x2 plates which come with studs on both sides. And yeah, those pieces are quite convenient, since with them we can easily revert the building direction, the stud order. You can see that they have the size of normal plates, but because of the studs on both sides, they are of course slightly thicker than normal plates. Well, they are exactly the same size and added to it the size of the studs. Step 45. In this step we are using another non-standard piece. This one here. This piece here is better known. The Lego company also produces such a piece, and when we compare it to our non-standard piece, you can see that this sloped part is in another angle and it's, not as tall. Step 55. In this step we are using yet another piece which the Lego company doesn't use. It's a wedge plate but without studs. And in later steps we are going to use quite similar pieces. So you can see here that's the same piece just mirrored. And then we also got these pieces in a smaller variation. Those are 2x4 and these are 2x3 pieces. Oh, and in step 56 we are using even a smaller version of that piece. It's a 2x2 wedge. And in a later step we are going to use the same piece just mirrored. Step 71. I just want to show you real quick what I have done so far. So we have built the base with the bird's feet. Those look quite cool, very colorful, and the building techniques are quite funny here. Have a look. We have used a lot of clips and they are attached to these sausages. Red sausages down there. Well, and then here we got the torso. So far we have almost completed one side of the torso, but now it's time to add all the stuff here also to the other side of the torso. Yeah, and this is what I'm going to do now in the next few steps. Step 82. Here is nothing interesting to see, but I just want to take the opportunity to show you the bricks. So you can see they come with huge and ugly injection holes. Those are not injection points, those are really crater-like holes, and this just is not cool to look at. And almost all of those pieces come with these huge holes on the studs. But it seems that we are really going to cover up all those ugly stats, and when that should really be the case in the end, then I see no reason to complain. Well, at least as long as you only use the pieces for this build. If you want to build something yourself with the pieces, one of your mocks or something like that, then you really have to pay attention that you are not going to have these visible ugly injection holes in the end. Step 88. I think we have completed the torso. Of course, the wings are still missing, the legs are missing, and probably the neck. No, it seems that we have built more or less the whole neck. But now we are going to build the head. Step 91. For the beak we are using this piece here, and I don't think that I have used this piece before. The Lego company introduced such a piece in 2008, and if I did count correctly, so far it appeared in 39 Lego sets. I don't know for sure right now because BlueBrixx is offline right now, so I can't check it. But I think I found 39 sets which have such a piece in common. Well, very interesting. For the beak we are going to use 2 of those pieces. Step 96. In this step we are placing one of those huge wings here, and I haven't used such a piece before. As far as I know, the Lego company introduced these pieces in 2013 with the Lord of the Rings sets. So far those pieces appeared only in a handful of Lego sets. And the Lego pieces have the same shape, but they do not come in these colors here. The Lego pieces are dual molded. Step 99. We are building the right leg right now, well, minus the foot because we already have built that. And for the leg we are using a piece which I do not recognize. I haven't seen this piece before. I don't know if the Lego company uses this piece at all. This is something which is completely new to me. Step 109. We have wet the bird with its feet. And when you look closely, you can see that I have positioned the feet slightly differently than shown in the instructions. Between this toe and the frog, there is a bigger gap in my build. And in my build also this little axle here peeks out a bit on this side, which isn't shown here. At least I think so. I had to do these slight adjustments so that the bird simply can't stand in a proper way. Without these adjustments, the bird stood in a slight angle like this, and this simply looked a bit strange, just like the bird was drunk. Okay, I think now we continue with adding some plants. Oh yeah, and in this next step we even are going to use the pieces which came in an extra bag because we have to use those instead of the other pieces. This looks strange. Have a look. This looks a bit too long. What about the other one? That's also too long. Then let me have a look at the original pieces. Where's the other one? Yeah, the original pieces are too long too, so This is not the problem. I don't know. Let's compare the new one to an old one. Just looks identical. I don't know why we got new pieces. Well, I won't complain. Step 111. Often we have the problem with instructions that when there are similar colors that we can't really distinguish those colors from each other. Often the producers of these sets try to avoid this problem by writing the color's name next to the pieces. So, for example, you can see we got these two plant pieces here, and they come in different shades of green. I guess this is bright green and this is dark green. And yeah, sometimes the companies just would have written bright green next to this here and dark green next to that piece. But in this case here, BlueBrixx does something which I haven't seen so far. We get to see this huge area of those colors, and when these areas are so huge, we can distinguish them easier from each other. And with the help of these numbers, we can exactly see which piece is in which color. So this is bright green and this is dark green. I guess this might be a bit more difficult if there was also a normal green color. Or maybe this is normal green, this isn't dark. No, I think it's dark green. And yeah, when there was a third green, but not shown in this step, but in another step, it might have been a bit more difficult to distinguish those colors. But with only two different green colors, this is absolutely fine. Step 113. In this step, we have to decide between an English and a German plaque. I went with the English plaque, so the German plaque is left over. After we have placed this printed tile, we also have completed the whole build. And here it is, our majestic bird. And it's a surprisingly huge bird. Here is my fist for comparison. And yeah, I think the build looks quite cool. It's very colorful. The proportions are correct. We got a bit of nature at the bird's feet. I think he is walking through a little swamp or near a lake or something like that. You can see down here there's water, and yeah, we got all these plants which grow near water. I have to say the build is surprisingly stable. So the bird itself sturdy. The build itself is completely sturdy. But of course, the connection between the bird and the base is a bit fragile. Well, fragile might be the wrong word, but it doesn't look sturdy. It's a bit shaky. You can see that the bird doesn't have a sturdy stand. But it doesn't fall off, it's all fine. And yeah, I like it that we could connect or could place the bird in such a way that we don't really need a proper stand for the bird. It's only connected via these barely visible tiny Technic axles. But in many cases, when we have such a build with these fragile legs, we support the whole build with huge transparent Technic axles, and yeah, those are often a bit annoying to look at. And so I really like this kind of solution here. It might make the build a bit wobbly, but As long as the bird doesn't fall off from the ground, I think I can live with it. And yeah, the big pro of this kind of construction simply is that we do not have to look at an ugly translucent stand which supports the bird, or at a translucent support. It's not really a stand, it's a support. All right, but enough about the connection between the bird and the base. Now let's have a look at the bird itself. So here in the front, we get the head with its huge beak, and we can even move the head slightly. At least that's a play feature which was featured on the box of the set, but I don't think that this is such a cool feature. It's a bit worthless. I think I will keep the head in this position so that we do not create this little gap here. Okay, so you can see we got printed eyes and also some kind of eyelashes, or whatever you call this when it's a bird and not a human. And these prints are quite cool. The print on this side and on the opposite side is a print on the same piece. It's just a 1x2 plate, and they have printed those small sides of that plate. That's cool. And yeah, the other print, of course, is down here, the plaque, or this plaque in German. So we get to know that it's a white stork, and yeah, the scientific name, family, and geographic range. Okay, then yeah, here's the huge torso, and we can move those wings if we want to. Of course, we can do this on both sides. And yeah, that's maybe the biggest play feature. But I guess I will just keep it like this. Well, building this set was quite fun. There wasn't anything difficult at all. You have to adjust the legs a bit. That might be the only slightly difficult step in the set. But other than that, it's a really easy build. And the result looks amazing. I had fun sampling everything, and the bricks work totally fine. There's no problem with the clutch power at all. The only thing I don't like about the bricks is that they come with ugly injection holes on the studs, but as you can see, at least the bird does not show a single stud. Every one of those studs with the ugly injection holes is covered. That's great. But sadly, I noticed that the base comes with some visible studs, or studs with ugly injection holes. So here this stud is visible. That ugly injection hole is visible. Over there's one. Here in the back is one. Did I mention those two before? I don't know. And yeah, I think down in the water, there's one. But I think those ugly injection holes down here are barely visible. There's so much stuff going on, so we can't really see them. And yeah, I guess you might even be able to solve the problem by rearranging those plants We even got an additional plant, which we didn't use. So we can place it there and maybe put one of those plants over there and so on. You get the idea. Oh, I guess I missed to mention the little frog. It's really a tiny frog, but it's cool that there's a frog, so our stork already got something to eat. Well, this is my second BlueBrixx bird. I think the first bird was a blue tit. And I have to say, this bird looks way more detailed than the first bird. And I had fun with the set. And yeah, this will find a place on my shelf. It's very colorful. It looks cool. And I simply like storks.